Good evening. The meeting of the Planning Commission will come to order. Please rise and follow me in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. Ready? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will the Deputy City Clerk please call roll?
Yes, Chair. Commissioner Uva,
Present.
Commissioner Duarte,
Present.
Vice Chair Ortiz,
Present.
and Chair Owens.
Present.
Thank you. We have a quorum.
Thank you. This is the time set aside for oral communications from the Planning Commission. Does any commissioner wish to make an announcement or report on a conference or meeting or request item for a future agenda? Commissioner Ortiz.
I have nothing to report, but I just did want to mention that I went to the Memorial Day event at Bastards. It was a great event, so I want to thank Nick for having that event.
Awesome. Thank you. Commissioner Uva.
Nothing for me.
Commissioner Duarte.
Nothing for me.
And I have nothing, thank you. Does the interim community development director have any changes to tonight's agenda?
No changes tonight.
Thank you. Does the interim community development director have any presentations?
No presentations.
Thank you. Does the interim community development director have a report on city council actions?
No report tonight.
Thank you. Now's the time set aside for the public hearing for the special event application PLN 22-00053. Does the deputy city clerk have proof of publication?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you. Will the interim community development director introduce staff making the presentation?
Tonight we have our principal planner, Guillermo Arreola, giving the presentation.
Mr. Chairman, members of the Planning Commission. Before you is application PLN 22-0053. It's a conditional, it's a special event permit application for the annual St. George Greek Orthodox Church Downey Greek Festival. And they're requesting approval of the special event permit to hold the event on June 4th and 5th. The property is located at 10830 Downey Avenue and is zoned downtown Downey specific plan. The event will take place from 11 a.m. to 10 a.m. To 10 p.m. Saturday and Sunday. The event is like the 2019 event and will include live music, entertainment, a stage and dance floor, a food and beverage area, and a seating area. Approximate attendance over 2 days will be 6,000 people. Setup for the event will begin Wednesday, and cleanup will begin Monday, June 6th, and completed by Tuesday, June 7th, by 6 p.m. Mitigation measures have been included in the resolution and the conditions of approval to limit the amount of noise spilling onto adjacent residential properties. And there are some pictures of some of the events from previous years. First Baptist Church and Downey United Methodist Church have given the applicant permission to use their parking lots for the event. A condition has been added that requires the applicant to provide signage and utilize volunteers to direct staff to those parking locations. The different city departments provided their standard conditions of approval. The police department indicated that they received no complaints during the 2019 festival, but are requiring 6 licensed guards, security guards, as they did at the previous event. So that concludes my presentation, Mr. Chairman. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mr. Arreola. Vice Chair.
I have nothing to ask. Thank you.
Commissioner Uva.
Just one simple question. Pretty much, this is the way it's always been done, what's before us on our paperwork, right? Nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed, ma'am.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Commissioner Duarte.
No question.
And I have none. Thank you.
Thank you.
Before I open the public hearing and call the applicant or his or her representative, this would be the time for planning commissioners to disclose any pre-hearing site visits or pre-hearing discussions that the commissioners may have had about the project. Vice Chair Ortiz,
I have none to report.
Commissioner Uva,
None for me.
Commissioner Duarte,
None for me.
and none for me. Thank you. The public hearing is now open. Will the applicant or his or her representative please come forward to give testimony?
Mic check. Okay, good. Good evening, actually. My name is Gavril Gabriel, honorable commissioners, honorable chairman. I want to thank first staff. This year was kind of a unique year. We weren't certain if we were going to do it, so staff had to shuffle some things around and make it happen. So I want to thank staff for doing that. They really did work hard on doing that, and they should be commended for that. Like Guillermo had said, there aren't any real changes. It's pretty much the same thing it's been the past 30 plus years. And, you know, we're excited to have it. We weren't going to do it, but which was another reason why it came a little later than usual, the application, but we made it happen. And so I'm happy that everybody worked together and we got it done. I'm here to answer any questions, any concerns, anything that you guys would like of me.
Great, thank you very much. Vice Chair Ortiz, questions of the applicant?
No questions. Thank you.
Commissioner Uva, questions of the applicant?
None for me. Thanks for taking on the chairmanship. It's a great event. I always look forward to it.
Thank you. We're glad to have it.
Commissioner Duarte?
Oh, yeah, great event. The only question I think is my yearly question.
I didn't hear the question.
I said my only question is, my yearly question is, can you make sure you don't run out of lamb?
No promises. It's a hot commodity, especially now with, you know, this logistics going up, inflation. If anything, we might run out sooner. So get there early.
Well, later on, we can condition in that.
Yeah,
they have
I think
plenty,
that's-
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Has there been any correspondence in favor or opposition?
Mr. Chairman, no correspondence.
Thanks. Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor or opposition of this application?
Mike Greenspan, a Bruin butt-kicking Florida Gator. Well, the Baptists and the Methodists, I'm glad to see they're enterprising and renting out their parking lot, but shame on them for condoning alcohol use. For all the times I've ever heard these fundamentalists talk about alcohol consumption and almost want to go back to the days of Prohibition and telling me about all the dangers of alcohol, and here they're enabling. Look at that, the fucking Baptists in the Klan, of all people, enabling liquor consumption to go on. And then what's going to happen at the end? Oh, let's go get drunk at the Greek festival. After all, where's the ouzo? If we're going to be having beer, we may as well have something harder. Liquor, liquor, liquor. Everything in California is about liquor. Because I grew up in the Deep South, and yes, there's liquor consumption, but some counties were dry, and some places, if you had the Baptists and the Methodists around, there wouldn't be any permits given for liquor, because the good Baptists and Methodists are not going to allow drunks to go around, and then after they've had all their Greek dancing and eaten the baklava and the gyros and drunk plenty of beer and wine or whatever the alcohol they're selling, they're going to get in their cars and drive. Isn't that wonderful? I sure hope Downey police are doing their jobs. Well, they're not here, so who knows? I guess the officers might be out jerking their dicks or something, because there's a real problem with people getting drunk and getting behind the wheel of a motor vehicle and endangering not only themselves, but other people in the community. Like Pelosi's better half, the drunker half. But of course, he's Pelosi, and his wife is the House Speaker, and they're related to the Gavin Newsom, so they can break all kinds of laws. Slap, slap, don't do that again. If I were to act like Paul Pelosi, right now I wouldn't be here. I'd be in jail. I'd be lucky if I could get bailed out. But that's how we operate. Well, let's just look the other way. And that's my problem with the whole thing. Can't we have a Greek festival without alcohol? Is alcohol an important thing? Go to a bar or go buy some booze take it home and watch the thing virtual or something. But I really have a problem with all the drinking going on and all the hit and run. Why, just north of here, Los Angeles is called the hit and run capital of the world because of all the accessibility. Why, they've even got this guy, Nigger Wesson. He's a preacher, and he pushes liquor. Isn't that just wonderful? With a guy named Michael By out of Torrance. Oh, fuck you.
Yes, I'd like to first turn in my paperwork for the FBI. PLN 220053. Now, the history of events is celebration. And usually a celebration during the time of a festival is encouraged, especially in today's douchebag world that we live in, where 22 people were mowed down by senseless one shooter, and the fucking police did nothing to secure the problem. 90 minutes of fucked up bullshit. Fuck the police. So the issue here, though, in discretion to the 6th security, why can't the city of Downey allow 4 officers that usually sit in their car, parked behind a building, to sit in the Orthodox festival and monitor along with the 6th security? Because there's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong is that we live in a society like Pelosi and her fucking dumb drunk husband that think they're above the law. Now, if it was in the circumstance of me seeing people shooting kids, your fucking little kids, your fucking grandkids, believe me, I would have kicked the fucking door down and bust a move and got that one individual or 10 individuals like Wyatt Earp. This Old Town Corral is going down. Fuck you. But again, regarding the festival now, let's keep it back to our request for St. George Greek Orthodox Church. My history of going there for the last 4 years was that it was excellent, an excellent promotion. However, circumstances change, inflation, cost is a little burdensome on many of us. And of course, the bullshit people that live around the area that complain that the noise is too loud. It's not noise, it's called fucking music and celebration. Close your fucking window and shut up and just let it go for 2 days. No big deal. Don't be assholes. You could tolerate it. If I could tolerate assholes, so can all of you. And I know you're going to pass this tonight, but however, I'm asking that the city attorney amend and suspend the permit and allow that you guys not ask the Orthodox Church to pay for it. That it'll be granted by Mayor Blanca Pacheco, our so-called assemblywoman. In God's name, I sure fucking hope she's not, but have her waive it and allow this one-time waive for their participation in this festival. Thank you. Oh, here's the other document from Pelosi. Thank you.
Does the applicant care for a rebuttal?
Not at this time, thank you.
Thank you. The public hearing is now closed. Does the planning staff have a recommendation?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, staff recommends the Planning Commission adopt the attached resolution approving special event application PLN-22-00053.
Thank you. Do the commissioners have any questions or would like to discuss this? Commissioner Ortiz.
Are we gonna add the additional line item for you, or?
Yeah. How do you buy that? Is it kilos? Is it pounds? Is it?
No comments, thank you.
All right. Commissioner Uva.
None for me.
Commissioner Duarte.
None for me. Just a great event. Look forward to it every year, and I'm glad it's back.
Me as well. Thank you. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion.
A motion to pass PLN-22-00053.
I will second it.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. Can we please take a vote?
Okay, the motion passes 4-0 to approve PLN 22-00053 for a special event permit.
All right, thank you. The action of the planning commission will be final unless the matter is appealed to the city council with the appropriate fee within the next 15-day period as set forth in the city's municipal code. Now is the time set aside for the public hearing for conditional use permit application PLN 22-00001. Does the deputy city clerk have proof of publication?
Yes, Chair, I have the proof right here.
Okay. Will the interim community development director introduce staff making this presentation?
We have Senior Planner Alfonso Hernandez giving this presentation.
Good evening, Chair Owens and members of the Planning Commission. Tonight, you're being asked to consider a revision to a conditional use permit to allow live entertainment at the existing Bar Louie restaurant. This is an aerial of the tenant space outlined in red. It is located at 8860 Apollo Way inside the promenade at Downey. Nearby are similar restaurant uses such as Gaucho Grill and the Olive. The property is found within the Downey Landing Specific Plan. The area of this plan is also referred to as the Tierra Luna Marketplace. To the south of the promenade is the Downey Sports Complex and the Columbia Memorial Space Center. To the east are property zone M2, and to the north is the Downey Landing Shopping Center. And to the west are R1, C2, and HM zone properties. Bar Louie was allowed to operate with the live entertainment per a CUP on May 20th, 2020. Due to the proposed changes to their floor plan, the applicant is now seeking to revise that CUP. Currently, the tenant space is 5,789 square feet. It will be expanded into an adjacent tenant space for an additional 1,412 square feet. The business has been in operation since 2016. The restaurant consists of a dining area, outdoor patio, and bar. It operates with a Type 47 ABC license. Here's a photo of the front of the restaurant. The proposal is to allow Bar Louie to continue its live entertainment into its new expanded area. All other aspects of the business will remain the same. Currently, the restaurant operates Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m., and Saturday and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. The applicant hopes to continue to provide live entertainment Thursday through Sunday from 9 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. The types of live entertainment are DJ, karaoke, and open microphone. The restaurant will continue to operate with its Type 47 alcohol license. The occupancy is 257 people, and 4 security guards will be present when there is live entertainment. Here is the current floor plan. Outlined in red at the top of the screen is where the live entertainment will be stationed. And here is where they will be expanding. In conclusion, it is staff's opinion that all findings can be made in a positive manner. And with that, I end my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Does the planning commission have any questions of staff? Vice Chair?
The other restaurants, I do, Chair, thank you. The other restaurants around have the same requirements for the outdoor patio for such entertainment? So like the Olive, Gaucho Grill?
Currently, I believe they do not have live entertainment.
Okay.
Gaucho Grill or the Olive.
So the Bar Louie would be the first?
Yeah.
Okay. That's the only question I have right now.
Commissioner Uva, questions?
Can you go back to the diagram?
Of course.
Okay, so the DJ is it inside the restaurant?
Yes.
Okay.
So the main entrance is here.
Okay, where are you? Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, okay,
main entrance
got
is
it.
here. The theater would be somewhere down here.
The what will be?
The theater.
Okay, got it, yeah, okay.
The Olive is here.
Right, okay. So it is indoors, and then the extension is they had an existing outdoor patio, correct? And then that got extended because of COVID? I've been there, I know I've been there a million times, and I'm trying to visualize
Of course.
that extension that was the temporary COVID is now going to be permanent?
No,
No?
they had these plans pre-COVID. They did have additional seating on during COVID. That will go away when the
Okay.
ordinance for that is allowed to go away, or when they need to go away rather. So here is their permanent on outdoor seating area that they currently have and had before COVID.
Okay.
On this here was the outdoor seating area of Motiva Juice Bar.
Okay.
So they are expanding into that tenant space and will take over that permanent space, outdoor space rather, and turn that into what they now have here.
Okay, so Movida is going.
Yes,
Okay, makes sense. Totally makes sense now. Thank you for explaining that.
of course.
Commissioner Duarte?
No, that clarified everything for me, so I have no questions.
Myself as well. Thank you, Mr. Hernandez.
Of course.
Before I open the public hearing and call the applicant or her representative, this would be the time for the planning commissioners to disclose any pre-hearing site visit or pre-hearing discussions that the commissioners may have had about the project. Vice Chair Ortiz.
I have none, Chair.
Commissioner Uva.
None.
Commissioner
None for
Duarte.
me either.
And none for me. This time, the public hearing is now open. Will the applicant or her representative please come forward to give testimony? Tell us about your expansion.
So I don't know that Movida is going, by the way. We bought it. It's a space between Movida and Bar Louie. I don't know what it was previously, but Movida I think is staying. I didn't hear anything about that. We only have a DJ once a month, if that. We don't have it every weekend like we used to. So it's like a themed night. We do it always towards the end of the month. I don't know anything else.
And so I have a question. On the DJ once a month, what happens in the in-betweens? You just play
We just
music
have
that
regular
house
music on our
whatever.
speakers.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You currently don't have any speakers outside?
No, there are speakers for like where our permanent patio is, but it's not crazy louder. It's not like the DJ would be.
Okay.
Commissioner Uva?
One question. So when the DJ is there, that's when you would propose to have the karaoke type of setting, right?
We haven't had karaoke in quite some time. I don't think we're going to be bringing back open mic or karaoke
Oh, okay.
for a really long time. I think it's just going to be a DJ once a month for a little while now.
And what about dancing?
There is no dancing.
Okay. Okay.
Commissioner Duarte, questions?
No questions.
I have one other. I'm not familiar if there is or isn't, but there's no valet currently offered to any of the
None of
food
the
or
restaurants
bar-
offer valet
okay.
from what I know.
All right. So your patrons would as well park somewhere, walk to you.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
great. All right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Has there been any correspondence in favor or opposition?
No correspondence.
Okay. Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor or opposition of this application?
Well, Mr. Owens, let's allow you to make that decision regarding the commission meeting on PLN 220001, conditional use permit. And let me read into the record what the discussion we heard tonight. A resolution of the Planning Commission of the City of Downey approving conditional use permit PLN 220001, thereby allowing a full-service restaurant to function with live entertainment in the form of a disc jockey, karaoke, and open mic. Now, I heard something different here tonight, and I'm not very agreeable to that language. And I would like to see an amendment to what I just read into the record. Because, again, don't take this personally. We know life's fucked up. We know the rules are fucked up. And we know that fucked up lies about a fucked up boss and a fucked up business and a fucked up transition plan like this is really sounding fucked up. but no offense. Oh, tonight we're not going to have a DJ, but maybe during the months to come, we'll increase it. We don't know that. So the conditional use needs to state, Mr. Duarte, needs to state specifically how many events you're going to have per month of karaoke. How many events of open mic going to have per month? Because if that fluctuates, guess what? You're not following the rules of the contract of full service restaurant. Because if the restaurants across from there, the Olive and Camacho, etc., cannot do the same fucking activities to draw in business, who's getting fucked? Who's getting fucked, sir? Please tell me, who's getting fucked? Well, let's face it, fucked up cops with a fucked up badge, that's suppressed by fucked up conditional rights about Downey life and the promenade. That's what's fucked up. So don't fucking play the planning commission game of switcheroo on us. Follow your conditional use, Mr. Ortiz. Follow it. Know specifically what you're gonna change and amend, Miss Attorney, not like Yvette Garcia at Burrich. Where is she at? Well, the FBI at 310-477-6565 want to know why you have all these conditional changes. And who are they benefiting? And who's pocketing some of the interest of that patting your greasy palms in your wallet? I want to know. People in Downey want to know what's happening in the promenade since life is so fucked up. Thank you. There you go, ma'am. This is testimony on record and handwritten.
Okay. Mike Greenspan, once again, a Bruin butt-kicking Florida Gator. Hey, look, we like to party as Gators, and of course we do it legally because we know that even if it's in Gainesville in the Alachua County Jail, I've never been there, and I like keeping up my good record, so we stay within the law. Now, I noticed they're going to have 4 security guards. Well, where's the Downey Police Department? And all those highfalutin officers, and the broad we have is the chief that replaced a good, well, Dean Milliken retired, unfortunately, and now we got some dingbat. And can't we send some police officers too? There's drinking going on. And I think the thing will allow up to 50% of the revenue to come from drinking. So there's going to be a lot of drunk people out there. And what are they going to do? Are they taking an Uber? Are they taking a cab? Are they taking the bus or a Lyft? No, they got the keys in their hand. And what do with the keys? Why, they take this key, put it in their vehicle, start it up, drive down the road, bam, they hit somebody. Oh, too bad, I guess. That's just part of the consequences. Well, you have drinking, and we have things going on after we have drinking. Things aren't too good. Maybe we should be a little bit tighter on the drinking. Maybe we should be a little tighter on the conditional use permit. Okay, if it's going to be once a month, put it on the record. Don't just allow an open-end kind of, well, we've changed our mind. Well, we're going to have karaoke after all. Well, we're going to have this. No, it's going to be a bait and switch. Kind of like the old argument way back when we first had the federal income tax. Oh, it's only going to be 2%. Well, this is only going to be 1 day a month. Somehow the one will add to 10. And suddenly we'll be having it full time, and it'll be just basically with a different name, an Ojos Locos. Maybe even a Boob and Beaver bar. Who knows what'll happen next? It's a foot in the door for more things to happen, and the more things that happen will not be good things. And where will be the Downey police? Oh, maybe they're out there passing the hat and collecting to have that big old pig fund, the $3 million pig fund, independent expenditure committee for Caruso in LA. That because the Downey Police Department sure not going to be showing up for the extra drinking and everything. What are they doing? Jerking their dicks. What else?
Does the applicant care for rebuttal time? Thank you. The public hearing is now closed. Does the planning staff have a recommendation?
Yes, staff recommends the Planning Commission approve conditional use permit PLN-22-000001.
All right, thank you. It's now time for the planning commission to deliberate. Does the commission have any questions at this time, or would the commission like to discuss the item? Anyone?
Chair, may I ask a question, staff? Did you guys notify the other businesses of their expansion of a live entertainment, music, or DJ? Do they need to be notified?
Notification goes out to property ownership within 500 feet of the subject property, and property owners are relied upon to notify all of their tenants regarding anything that may impact them.
Okay, so they might not know.
They may not know. My understanding at the promenade with their ownership is they're fairly decent about notifying surrounding businesses, so I'm confident, but I cannot confirm that.
Okay. No further questions.
Thank you. Commissioner Uva, questions?
So I have a question of staff, just in follow-up to that. Do you suspect then that other restaurants in the promenade are going to start asking for the similar kind of usage?
We haven't had any requests or any inquiries recently. Bar Louie actually obtained their original live entertainment approval in 2020. They've been operating with the live entertainment since then. This expansion now is just so that in the expanded area, any live entertainment that occurs there is still subject to all of the same regulations and restrictions.
Okay, because I just feel once we open the floodgates, everyone else will start applying, and I'm always concerned about, people that live in that area. This is kind of an area that's kind of unique where there's not really a lot of residents around there. So perhaps it's okay, but, we don't want to be having loud music and stuff going and disturbing people up until, I think it's 2 a.m. or something.
Yeah, if my memory serves me correct, I think that echoes a lot of the discussion from that 2020 Planning Commission meeting. The concern that once we open a door, is everybody going to follow through? Nobody has. Again, we went through the pandemic at that time also, so maybe that's why people were slow to follow. But this particular area, I think, is what everybody came to the consensus, is that they're sort of right in the center
Yeah.
of that commercial center, so they don't have any direct impact to
Yeah,
residents.
I agree. Yeah. All right, thank you.
Commissioner Duarte?
No comments for me.
I have some follow-up. So I seen the conditions, we have hours of operation and hours for this, the purpose of the live entertainment. So I think it's 9:30 or 9 to 1:30, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, there's no valet setup, so that's good. I would agree with Commissioner Uva. My question would be on the notification to the existing or the neighboring, businesses, would that have been put on squarely the shoulders of the property owner?
Yes, the notification would have been the responsibility of the property ownership.
Okay. And probably in that tenant pact or agreement or lease agreement, they probably have some things that are similar to this request, or allowances, if you will?
Right, any occurrences that happen at the center, there's essentially two layers. They have to go through property management and get that approval first before they approach the city and then go through the city's approval process.
Got it. Okay, thank you. So, at this time, what is the pleasure of the Planning Commission? May I have a motion? Or do you want a further discussion amongst us?
I think we're good.
Okay. So we'll entertain a motion at this time.
A motion to pass, PLN-22-0001.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second. May we have a vote, please?
Please vote. And
A motion passes 4-0 to approve PLN 22-0001 for a conditional use permit.
Okay. I want to remind the applicant at this time that the action of the planning commission will be final unless the matter is appealed to the city council with the appropriate fee within the next 15-day period as set forth in the city's municipal code. Now is the time set aside for the public hearing for site plan review, conditional use permit, and zone change application, PLN-22-00044. At this time, the applicant has submitted a letter requesting that this item be continued to a date uncertain. So we don't have to calendar that because they'll come back when they come back.
That's correct.
All right. May we have a vote on continuing this until a date uncertain, or a motion, I'm sorry.
I make a motion.
Yeah, we need a motion and a second, yes.
So I will second it.
Okay. May we have a vote, please?
Thank you. The motion passes 4-0 to continue PLN 22-00044.
Thank you. Now's the time set aside for the public hearing for tentative parcel map and site plan review application PLN 21-00175. As well, staff recommends that this item be continued to a date uncertain. May I have a motion to continue this item to a date uncertain?
So moved.
I second.
So we have a motion and a second. Can we please take a vote? Okay.
The motion passes 4-0 to continue PLN 21-00175.
Thank you. Now's the time set aside for the public hearing for conditional use permit and zone change, PLN 20-0027. Does the deputy city clerk have proof of publication?
Yes, Chair, I have it here.
Will the interim community development director introduce the staff making this presentation?
The presentation will be given by Senior Planner Alfonso Hernandez.
Good evening again, Commissioners. Tonight, you're being asked to consider a conditional use permit and a zone change to allow a tow storage facility. The application involves two separate parcels. The applicant is Omar Camacho, and the business is Titan Towing. This is an aerial of the parcels outlined in red. They are located at 11911 Woodruff Avenue at the southwest corner of Stewart and Gray Road and Woodruff Avenue. Although the parcels share the same address, they are two separate lots. The second parcel, identified on the screen as APN 6284024-030. The property is found within the M2 zone. All surrounding properties are also zoned M2 and developed with industrial uses. Here's a photo of the site facing Stewart and Gray Road. The existing building was developed in 1957 and has a total area of 12,800 square feet. The abutting property is also included in this permit, was graded and paved in 2015. The total area of both lots is 96,932 square feet. The proposed use is automobile tow storage. The applicant is hoping to also conduct auto repairs. The business operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Business services include roadside assistance, vehicle towing, fleet vehicle towing, and police impounds. In addition, the business also is required to store evidence-based vehicles. These vehicles include cars that were involved in pending criminal cases or court cases. These types of vehicles will be stored indoors inside the warehouse. All other vehicles will be stored outdoors in the yard area. The business can store a total of 390 vehicles. That includes 40 vehicles inside the warehouse. They operate with a total of 9 trucks. The auto repair will be limited to company vehicles like the tow trucks, as well as fleet vehicles belonging to companies that the business has contracts with. And lastly, vehicles that the business has acquired due to a lien. Here is a site plan. The site has 2 frontages and can be accessed through 4 separate driveways. The arrows in blue on the screen lead to the customer and employee parking. The arrows in red lead to the yard area. The yard area is only accessible by the tow trucks and employees. The red box in the middle of the screen represents the warehouse, and the blue box to the left represents the yard. It is not to scale, it's only drawn for reference. This parcel actually has a depth of 1,120 square feet, and that can accommodate up to 350 vehicles. Here is the floor plan of the warehouse. The front of the warehouse facing Woodruff Avenue to the left of your screen is made up of the offices. Within the warehouse, there are 2-story storage racks on either side of the warehouse. Vehicles are stacked one on top of the other. And lastly, there is 1 vehicle repair bay. Here's an example of those storage racks inside, except that the company's has only 2 levels. The application also involves a zone change. The front 30 feet of each property is zoned PB. The zoning has been categorized as obsolete since 2008, when the city conducted a comprehensive update to its zoning ordinance. This action will clean up the zoning map and make both lots entirely M2. Here's what the map will look like afterwards. Lastly, staff would like to add an additional condition to the first resolution. There will be a new condition number 36. It shall read, this approval shall take effect upon city council action to approve zone change from PB to M2. And with that, I conclude my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. At this time, is there any questions of staff? Vice Chair Ortiz.
I do. I have a couple questions. The first question, are there other tow storage facilities in Downey?
There is not.
So this will be the first one?
It will not be the first one. There were 2 others at the beginning of 2020, but they have since gone out of business.
Okay. And then second question I have, the only place where they will be able to store cars will be, if you can go back to the image, will be the area of 6284-024. Can you go, there we go. Or can you go one more? There we go. Won't be where Woodruff is or Stewart Gray, the first box in the corner?
Yes. So
they will be able to, just that long parcel right there, correct?
Yes. So here where we see the vehicles parked, that will be their outside tow storage area. So that would include the majority of their vehicles. Here's where their warehouse is. Inside the warehouse, they have to store as a requirement their evidence-based vehicles.
Okay. And then the only entrance or exit will be on Woodruff. The other side will be completely blocked off.
So here, there's a driveway, so they can access the warehouse through here. It's probably easiest because there's a ramp that goes into the warehouse. Here, they can access the rest of the yard.
And that's the only entrance for that specific parcel, correct?
Yes, you're right. Yes. There is a throughway, so if they would like to take cars this way, they can do so as well.
Okay. And the other side, on the far end, there's no, there's a huge wall.
There.
On the other side, on the end of the parcel. The west, so, yeah, that way. It's just a huge wall.
Yeah, so there's a 10-foot wall, or fence rather, that encloses everything.
Okay. And then the fence is see-through for the one in Woodruff?
It is not see-through.
It's not see-through, okay.
So I'm not sure if we could notice there. It's corrugated metal fencing here.
Oh, okay, I see.
So it's completely not see-through.
Okay. No further questions. Thank you.
Commissioner Uva, questions?
No questions.
Commissioner Duarte, questions?
Just one or two. I know they said this is a 24-hour vehicle towing service. Is that also applied to the auto repair part of it?
It should not.
It should not? Okay. And then what's the distance in terms of the nearest residential area?
So we have two distances to the back of the yard. So from this point the last point where they can store vehicles, that is 250 feet to the closest residential. From the warehouse, that is 1,128 feet to the closest residential.
Okay. And then just a follow-up to that, I think we had one where maybe a trucking company, I don't see a condition for the 65 DBAs. And I think we had that in terms of a project near there. Is there a reason that's not there?
No, there's not a specific reason it's not there. We can add it. We should add it.
Yeah, that's my only concern is just with the auto repair, that might get a little, noisy. And especially if it's not 24 hours, maybe not a big concern, but if it is, I think that'd be a concern.
It may be wise to also add on hours of operation for the auto repair.
Yeah.
And I did want to answer one of Commissioner Ortiz's questions too. So I mentioned that they're the only auto towing service. They actually have two locations. So this same business has two locations, one off of Phlox and Downey at the intersection, at the southwest intersection.
Okay.
No further questions.
Thank you, Mr. Hernandez. Before I open the public hearing and call the applicant or his or her representative, this would be the time for planning commissioners to disclose any pre-hearing site visit or pre-hearing discussion that the commissioners may have had about the project. Vice Chair Ortiz.
I have none, Chair.
Commissioner Uva.
None.
Commissioner Duarte.
None for me also.
And none for me either. At this time, the public hearing is now open. Will the applicant or his or her representative please come forward to give testimony? Good evening.
Mr. Chair and members of the commission. Good evening. My name is Omar Camacho. I'm the owner of Titan Tow. I opened 15 years ago here in the city of Downey, and I thankfully haven't had one complaint of any kind of noise or anything, especially on Phlox having my back wall sharing with the residents. One of my first phone calls and greets were to go talk to him. Here's my personal cell phone number. You guys have any problems or my guys make noise, because we are 24 hours and, we sometimes bring cars and, it gets a little noisy at times sometimes. They do have my personal cell phone number, and not once have I received a phone call or a complaint from anybody or from the city or the police coming, hey, you're making too much noise. Not once. We take great consideration of our neighbors. Also, Mr. Duarte, in reference to your question as far as automotive repair, no, we're not going to be doing nighttime repairs. That's not. We don't do that. The main scope of our intention of doing mechanical repair is more so for our fleet accounts. If they get into a collision or they have a mechanical breakdown and they need to get this truck back on the road, if they don't have somebody that can address their issue, because we have our own trucks and we have our own repair capabilities, if you will, we want to expand those capabilities to our customers where we can assist them in the event of a situation where they can't get a mechanic. Or, coming out of COVID right now, it's really hard to find parts and people to do anything. So we have the opportunity to offer our customers that. And that's basically all we're going to be doing. It's not going to be nothing nighttime, strictly daytime. And unfortunately, towing is around the clock because, we have to be available for law enforcement. Our main scope of work pretty much is law enforcement, though. We do Downey, Bell Gardens, and CHP. So we're in the process right now expanding into other cities, but we try to maintain as much noise considerance for all the neighbors. Any questions? Any other questions?
I have a couple of comments. So
Yes, sir.
You weren't the past owner, because I was sitting here when the past owner came in, or the previous application was to develop the property. I think it was an auto dismantler, wasn't it?
Correct, Your Honor. So my landlord, we originally had come up with a number that we were going to try to work on to purchase this land. But as inflation has kicked in, so has his price. So
Sure.
we're kind of trying to bring him back down to reality of things. But yes, he originally had an auto dismantler, which was really interesting because when I walked in there was cars that were being cut in half, getting shipped to Africa. And in Africa, apparently, you're able to weld the cars back together and sell the cars without being any kind of salvage title and whatnot. So he had an interesting business. Yeah. Ironically, when I went there, I told him I was a police impound and this is what I want to do. Those cars and everything just like disappeared. So I'm not saying he was up to any kind of nefarious activity, but it was just really interesting.
Because he had two locations. You're familiar with the story? Obviously, it sounds like, but the other one was Lakewood, just about Alameda.
Yeah,
he had that little piece.
I've heard numerous stories of just the uphill battle that's been with that facility, but I think finally now
you're in there now. Okay.
Everything's finally starting to all the ducks are starting to fall in a row.
And then the piece that has the parcel number attached to it, that was abandoned railroad easement that
Correct,
had been
sir.
improved by the past owner
Correct, sir. Yeah, it's all concrete, and I think it's 6 inches of concrete,
and gated.
and it's gated. Yeah.
All right, maybe that.
Yeah, as police impound, we have to maintain, the facility as secure as possible, especially being in evidence. We have to definitely make sure that we maintain high security.
All right, great. Any of the other commissioners have any more questions or comments?
I think you answered my question. What do you do with cars that, because I know that I read under the conditions after 30 days.
Depends on the value of the car, sir. So if the car's under 4,000, we'll do a 30-day lien. If it's 4,001 and plus, it's very, DMV has a very weird system. So anything worth 4,001 plus up to whatever value the car is, which is kind of weird because if you get a 2020 Honda Accord that's worth more than $4,001 and you grab a Rolls Royce or a Bentley that's worth $400,000, you're going to run it under that same lien. So those liens are 90 days. Short liens are 30 days. Once they clear a lien, they're pretty much, they all go to junk or auction.
Okay.
For the most part, it's all junk.
Okay.
People definitely don't leave their Ferraris. Like the example, may God hear you that I have a warehouse full of those cars like that. But yeah, no, it doesn't happen. Okay. Yeah.
All right, cool.
If I was in Newport Beach, maybe. But yeah, no. They're for the most part, they're pretty severely damaged cars.
Okay.
Yeah. Especially fatalities. Yeah.
Great.
Any other
Sounds
questions?
like a good project.
I'm trying, sir. Trying my hardest.
You
It's
bet.
been a rough road, let me tell you. Towing's not for the weak.
Yeah, truly. I could appreciate that. All right.
I have one question. In terms-
yes, sir.
Would you have an issue with a condition limiting the repair part of the business from, say, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.?
Well, sir, I'll be honest with you, it would be very detrimental to our business because the rent of a 100,000 square foot facility is not cheap. It's a very big overhead that I absorb. It would just allow us to, take full advantage of the property. So yeah, it would really hurt us.
So the repair.
And now let me tell you, because I want to make sure that Alfonso know about this. We're not going to open to the public and advertise that we're a repair facility. We're not open to the public. This is strictly automotive repair for our customers and customers only. And when I say customers, this is for accounts. Like, for example, we tow for Airfare. Airfare makes food for Delta Airlines. They're a 24-hour facility. Sometimes the trucks break down. They're stuck to a plane. So they'll call us at 1, 2, 3 in the morning. Hey, you know what? Just take it to your yard or take it to our yard and then come back and pick it up and then take it to a mechanic. So by us having the capabilities of being able to repair these vehicles, we can go there at 1 o'clock in the morning, pick up the truck, bring it back to our facility. Our mechanics and maintenance department wouldn't start until 8 o'clock in the morning, and then they can start addressing the issue. So it would greatly, severely put a damper on our financial capabilities of exploiting the yard to its fullest potential.
Okay, and I see you're familiar with 13 and 14, then it's not open to the public, so that's.
Yeah, we're definitely not going to be open to the public. So you're not going to be able to pull and say, "Hey, I want to get my oil changed." We're going to tell you to pound rocks. We're not.
We're not.
Yeah, no.
Just to clarify.
And the only reason I tell you this, sir, is because being that we have evidence in that warehouse, we don't want people coming in and out of that facility.
No, I can't.
So that's my priority, the safety and safeguarding of these vehicles. So by me opening to the public, it's normal. People come in, hey, you know what? We found this on your car. What's the first thing you want to do? You want to go there and see and look. Well, the problem with that is now I have to accept liability What if you have any kind of relation to the person that committed a crime? You know, it just opens up too many doors. So it's just in our best interest that we do strictly companies, and they're not going to come and, you know, these people, when we call them, they're like, you know what, just get it fixed. We don't care what it is. Take a picture, send it to us, and or just send us a bill, let us know what it is, and we're done. So that's one of the main reasons why we do not, and we are not going to open to the public. As far as, like, you know, most repair shops, you see the garage door open, and that's not going to happen with us. From the from the two streets, Woodruff or Sturdy Gray, you'll never know. We're not even going to advertise that we're a mechanic. So you won't even see it.
But just to clarify, you were asking for repair only?
Yeah.
For repair only? So if you don't do repairs after hours, will it still be detrimental for your business?
No, because we're not going to do after hours repair. So if you want to make a stipulation in the conditional use permit, that's perfectly fine with me. I'm sorry for not understanding the question, but yeah, if you want to put a stipulation, I'm 100% on board with that. That, you know, no automotive repairs after, I don't know, 6 p.m. if you want. Whatever it is you guys want to do is perfectly fine with me. Because we're not going to do. I'm not going to go get parts, and I sure ain't going to ask one of my guys, hey, stay here till 1 a.m. and fix this car. No, I'm not going to do that. Now, the only thing is that if one of our tow trucks break, that we would have to repair, because obviously we have to be available for law enforcement. But that's not for profit. That's our own vehicles, our own trucks. So that would be the only mechanical repair we would have after hours. But then again, we're not pounding. We're not making all kinds of noise. So, like I said, we haven't had a complaint in 15 years at Phlox, and I have residents behind me, let alone at this location. So.
All right. Anyone else?
Just one question.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you going to keep Phlox open for
Yes, ma'am.
a while?
Yeah, we have to stay there because due to the fact that we're contracted with Bell Gardens Police Department, we have to stay so close to the city because of all the nefarious activity that, you know, has happened over there. They actually came to us and asked for a company that was above water and had complete transparency. So it worked out, being that we're somewhat close to Bell Gardens, we could maintain our contract with them and, you know, continue doing business with them. So yes, Phlox is going to continue with us.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
All right, great.
All set?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time. Have a good evening.
Has there been any correspondence in favor or opposition?
No correspondence.
Thank you. Is there anyone who'd like to speak in favor or opposition of the application?
Mike Greenspan, and after all, it sounds like everything's on the up and up. It sounds like the previous owner was shady, and there might be some investigations, and somebody might wind up in prison. The idea of cutting cars in half and sending them to Africa, that is a little bit shady, but that's not him. Hopefully he's cleaning it up. The after hours allow, perhaps you need to spell it out when you cross your T's and dot your I's, that the only after hours repairs would be to their vehicles necessary for the operation. So somebody doesn't call up and complain or take it to court or whatever to say, well, they're doing this, they're in violation. So specify what could be done after hours. I was thinking to myself, because I've got a Ford Ranger, I had a breakdown when it was under warranty, way back when in 2003, and I got towed into Capistrano Ford in Orange County, Southern Orange County. And they have a 24/7 service department, and they told me, oh, it'll be ready Monday. This is on a Friday. I get a call Saturday morning, it's ready. So I have really no problems with 24-hour, but this is not a general use. This is specific people. But if, let's say, some of those 24-hour operations like the Delta food truck or whatever it is that services Delta, perhaps you might want to say 6 o'clock instead of 6, maybe 7 or 8. Fudge a little bit on the number, let them stay open long enough in case something needs to be done. I do want to go over something with, I guess it was on page 8. Let me look at this, because maybe it's just bad grammar. In section 1, number E, or letter E, the Planning Commission held a duly noticed public hearing on June 1st, 2022, and after fully considering all oral and written testimony, facts, and opinions offered at the aforesaid public hearing, adopted this resolution. You're putting future tense and past tense. Is it just bad grammar, or was this already, well, we know what's going to be done, so therefore, let's just put it in. Why didn't you just say things will be determined at the public hearing to be held on June 1st, 2022, just in case something goes sour or goes bad? And as far as the evidence room, we once had a vehicle in our parking lot. It was there for the longest time. My theory was, since it's a gated parking lot, it was used perhaps in a crime, and instead of putting it on the street, they warehoused it.
Does the applicant care for rebuttal time? Oh, I'm sorry. Another speaker.
So sorry. Yeah. Page 8, section 1, item E. Public hearing on June 1st, 2022, and after fully considering all oral and written testimony, facts, and opinions offered at the aforesaid public hearing, adopted the resolution. Now, Madam Attorney up there, is this a legal binding contract, or is this a arbitrary issue here? Because it seems that there's an issue on page 8 that I find considerably despicable. The same despicable bullshit owner that ran that business as a chop shop, cutting up vehicles, and Downey knew shit about it for how long? Another bunch of fuck-ups, right? That's what you are. Don't take it personally. I'm just making it a point, Mr. Ortiz. Fuck up. And then on page 12, look at here. Item 13, vehicle repair service shall not be provided to members of the general public and shall be limited to vehicles towed to the facility by the towing service as part of a fleet under contract. There you go, Duarte. You answered your own fucking stupid question. Don't discriminate against the gentleman. Don't give him a hard time. Give him the fucking permit. Waive all those other fucking stupid permits and get this gentleman to work. Get those fucking illegal vehicles off our fucking streets and sidewalks. Move all those fucking vehicles that are illegally parked, don't have the proper tags and registration, and bring them to his warehouse and let him auction them out. Because they do no fucking good parked in front of your yard for 20 years that you claim you're going to fix that old raggedy ass fucking beat up car that you stole or that you won in a contract deal. Whatever the fuck that means, but I know what that means. So, again, the question is, does the FBI need to go back and do a review of what the owner of that business was doing before? Because I find that very offensive in the city of Downey, knowing that we have police officers that get shot right behind you in the parking lot by some fucking hoodlums, and then we get some fucking business open up, chop chop, and then we get some fucking stupid idea on page 8 that everything was settled and heard, Miss Attorney, for the record. So you best get on the JOB, read this fucking information before you submit it out to us to read back to you for our public testimony. Page 8, item E, section 1, 42 U.S.C. 1983, politely, fuck off.
Does the applicant care for rebuttal time?
Just one comment, sir. There's no affiliation from them to us. And to clarify, the business that was there, it was a lawful exportation business.
The public hearing is now closed. Does the planning staff have a recommendation?
I move that we approve PLN 20-00027.
We appreciate the eagerness, but staff hadn't quite given its
Oh, I'm
recommendation.
so sorry.
That's okay.
I jumped too quickly.
No worries.
We'll hold the motion for a moment. And,
Staff recommends the Planning Commission approve conditional use permit PLN 2020-0027 and zoning map change. But first, we do have new conditions that you wanted to address.
Yeah, if we want to discuss that, limiting the auto repair from, I would propose 8 AM to 8 PM. That's up for discussion, if commissioners feel
Sure.
strongly about that or not.
Mr. Chair, if it helps for your deliberation, our senior planner has prepared some language for those proposed conditions, so you can hear them, and then that can hopefully help your discussion.
Perfect, thank you. Please, Alfonso.
We have three. So on new condition number 28, we'll read, this approval shall take effect upon city council action to approve zone change from PB to M2. Then we'll have new condition number 29. The business shall comply with all noise regulations as stipulated in the Downey Municipal Code, and at no time shall the noise level exceed 65 dBA as measured at the nearest residential property. And new condition 30 will be vehicle repair services shall be allowed within the hours of 8 AM to 8 PM.
So we approve with set conditions?
Yes, so now at this time, we'll take a motion to approve the item with those conditions.
Sure, so I'll repeat my motion. So I move that we approve PLN 20-00027 with the revised conditions.
And I second.
We have a motion and a second. Could we please now take a vote?
The motion passes 4-0 to approve PLN 20-00027 for a conditional use permit and zone change as revised.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to remind the applicant that the action of the planning commission will be final unless the matter is appealed to the city council with the appropriate fee within the next 15-day period as set forth in the city's municipal code. At this time is the non-agenda public comment. This portion of the agenda provides an opportunity for the public to address the planning commission on non-agenda, consent, and other business items within the jurisdiction of the planning commission and not listed on the agenda. It is requested but not required that you state your name, address, and subject matter upon which you wish to speak. Please limit your comments for non-agenda items to no more than 4 minutes pursuant to the Brown Act. No discussion or action other than a brief response, referral to the city planning staff, or schedule for a subsequent agenda shall be taken by the planning commission on any issue brought forth under this section. Is there anyone who would like to speak?
So we got elections coming up, June 7th. And here's my voter shit. Alex Padilla, you suck. Bob Archuleta's a cock. Hilda Solis is a bitch. And Alex Villanueva, you're just like Lee Baca, a gangster criminal enterprise. Nothing changes in the formalities of local government. You're all a bunch of fucking hoodlums. And the FBI is on your asses, so I suggest you clean up your act fast, because you're gonna be like the rest of these council people in this facility that are now running away like Mr. Levas walking away from a $300,000 gig. What a fucking moron. I would have hung it out. But no, you guys are pussies. Pussies running away from a big cock that the FBI at 310-477-6565 want to know what's your problem, Ortiz? What's your problem? What are you hiding from the FBI? What development projects are you doing like they're doing in Anaheim, Ortiz? And what about you, Mr. Owens? That stupid mayor we have. What's her name? Tonta Blanca? That bubblehead, dumbass mayor that we have has no respect for our First Amendment. She belittles our First Amendment. In which manner? In the manner that she believes what she says is politically correct. But the second claim for relief is this: violations of the First and Fifth and 14th Amendment of Article Section 2 of the California Constitution regarding enforcement of unconstitutional rules of decorum, 42C 1983 politely, fuck you, Mayor. Because again, the terms are vague and lack adequate standards and guidelines, and your warning bullshit is all a bunch of shit of hypothetical discrimination and retaliation. So don't threaten our ass when we get up here at the mic saying that we're off topic when we're not. If you don't like the arena, you don't like venomous, vulgar, then quit your job and go get a pussy job and suck a cock job somewhere like they do in Los Angeles, like Eric Caca Garcetti. Fucking faggot. In addition to that, I'm submitting my complaint about peace officers, law enforcement agency to the Attorney General here tonight, so that it's on record in Downey that mommies, mayor mommies, shall not, like Blanca or that stupid fat Claudia Frometa and her fat husband, Mr. Frometa, targeted me out in the parking lot at 1 a.m. and told me, watch your back. And then the bitch shows up at my house where I don't live, and a video camera films her brand ass new Mercedes Benz rolling in and finding out, oh fuck, there's no way out. I'm stuck. I gotta get out and back out. Why would you do that? You cut me off in front of the police station out here. You and your stupid fat husband approached me and threatened me, you fucking dumb cunt. So let's file a complaint about peace enforcement. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about misconduct. Let's talk about the false arrests and false allegations and our 14th Amendment with the police, who don't step in to save fucking children, who don't bother with all their training to step in and save fucking children. You fucking cowards. And for the one immigrant man that stood in there and take a stance, God bless America. You did a great job. The way you do it at the border, homie. There you go.
Okay. Ready? Okay. All right. Mike Greenspan, and the Jew who's not going back to Florida, even though told by a big, fat, anti-Semitic, anti-Christ Catholic, go back to Florida, you Jew. Yeah, just to let you know, I'm not going back. I'm staying out here, and I don't care how many of you goons and their mafia members with the anti-Christ Catholic Church think they're going to chase me out of California. No fucking way. Now, a few things. 1, 2, 4, 5. Oh, where's District 3? Why is District 3 not represented here? The people have not recalled Councilmember Alvarez. Shouldn't she appoint somebody? And if she has appointed somebody, where is he or she? Now, Downey seems to be what I call a personal monopoly board for Councilmember Trujillo. And Downey City Council doesn't like my description of it, but every time they were talking about some land use issue, up went Trujillo's faggoty ass out that door because he had a conflict of interest. That's why I say the city is his monopoly board. And he did admit that the council does get, I think, $800-something, so they qualify for medical benefits because Fatty Frometa's husband, fatter half, said they don't get paid anything. He lied. And I was there the night that the thing happened when Fatty Frometa and her husband approached Armando. I was walking with him out to my vehicle, and she said, you better watch it. And then he came out and goes right past me next to him and is in his face. And then I guess about a week later or later that week, I was told how Fatty Frometa showed up with her goon son, 20 years old, I guess to start some trouble over there in Mr. Herman's residence. And we have to play by the rules, but everybody else doesn't. I was told I was off topic by the previous cunt in the city attorney's office, Yvette, because I spoke against that Guerra guy, that fat slob Guerra, when he applied for the council position. And the fact that he gave a sweetheart deal, a very good sweetheart deal on a condominium in downtown Downey that was anywhere from $29,500 to $69,000 under market value. The least Guerra should have done was file a major donor form, because he gave something over $10,000, even if it was only the $29,500 and not the $69,000. And of course, candidate Pierce should have reported it as a gift. But somehow none of that was done. Well, I'm at least glad to see Cunty Vet is no longer here. I hope our temporary lawyer does a good job. I hope she does a good enough job to maybe even be the permanent lawyer if she could do a good job, because they're sure wasting a lot of money on searches. And Gilbert, I was here for that dog and pony show they had in mid-December about whether to get rid of Gilbert. The biggest waste of the taxpayers' time and money. And for what? Because Sean Ashton didn't like something? Well, bye-bye, Sean. We don't miss you. Gilbert, we're not going to miss you either. We don't miss any of the others.
So we have nothing on the consent calendar this evening. Moving on, does the interim community development director have any additional comments?
No comments tonight.
And then I noticed we don't have a date memorialized here for the next meeting, but I'm going to guess it's June 15 in these chambers at 6:30.
Yes, adjourned to June 15th.
So we'll adjourn to June 15, 6:30 p.m. in these chambers. Thank you.